YouTube, welcome to my channel. My name is Vivian and I guide people through personal change and transformation through the use of high vibrational modalities. So if you can guess by the title of this video, one of those modalities is crystal therapy. And as the title of this video suggests, we're going to be talking about whether you should only buy your crystals from spiritual people. So let's get right into that topic. I was called to share a little bit about this because it can sometimes feel like a little bit of a dilemma, especially if you're just embarking on your spiritual journey or on your crystal journey. You want to buy your crystals from spiritual people, right? Or, people that are in tune, or people that understand the healing properties and the metaphysical properties of the crystals and stones and aren't just like selling them to make money. Now, that's totally understandable, and I feel like this just comes down to a personal preference. One thing about crystals is that they teach us to tune into our intuition. They teach us to listen. So when you are purchasing crystals and you feel so drawn to a particular stone, that's a form of listening, of picking up on these signals and the clues that either your higher self is guiding you to purchase this crystal or to connect with this crystal, or that crystal is actively reaching out to you to be part of your life and your own evolution. Now, let's talk about this idea of only buying crystals from spiritual people. Now, and I'm going to use this example of people, right? So you're a person, I'm a person on a spiritual path, on a spiritual journey, on a journey of healing or just evolving your consciousness. And for most of us, we didn't exactly come from a family that nourished that encouraged that created the conducive environment, that safe little cocoon for your spiritual evolution, for healing, or maybe not needing any healing. However, does that make you any less valuable? Should that make you any less welcome into community? No. Just because you didn't come from a place that was like this spiritual mecca or this like crystalline temple doesn't mean that you don't innately carry that crystalline essence, the potential for the beauty. It doesn't make you any less valuable as a person, any less worthy of a person, because you didn't come from a family that saw that in you, that recognized that valued that. So then why should we judge crystals based on the vendor or where they're coming from? If you find this crystal, hey girl, you find this crystal and you really connect with it, and let's say it's not from a spiritual shop or a metaphysical shop or a place that you feel that the person actually resonates with the stones, they're just the bridge, they're just the channel, the vehicle for this stone to get to where it needs to go. Are you going to judge this crystal? It's just like, oh, that vendor is not spiritual. That vendor doesn't, see the healing properties of this rose quartz. I'm not going to buy it from them. But it's not so much about the vendor. It's about the crystal. Is this crystal any less valuable? Is this crystal any less of a crystal because it doesn't come from a spiritual vendor? No, absolutely not. This crystal is still a crystal. It's still in its perfected crystalline form. And it's waiting for the right soul to come along to join them on their evolution. to join them on their healing journey and their process. So no, I don't feel that you should only buy crystals from spiritual people. Like, there are a lot less people who have awakened spiritually than those who actually have. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? And it is about your connection to the crystal, to the stone. That's it. And again, it comes down to your intuition, listening, you know? If this person is giving you like a really just like weird vibe, don't interact with them. And maybe you don't, and if they're giving you a super weird vibe and you're like, you just want to get a new stone, like, oh, like I was just like looking for a new rose quartz, I don't, you know? But if you're not connecting to it, then leave it. It's not meant for you. But if you are in your heart of hearts, like, you know, your intuition is saying this is the stone, and it's coming from just like a Jack in the Box type of person, like, you know, regular, just selling crystals, that's fine. And it's also fine if you only want to buy your stones from spiritual shops or from people that you feel really resonate with the stones and are in tune with them. That's fine as well. That's why I'm saying, like, it is your preference. And I'm bringing this up, one, because the crystals told me to, and also because I think it's a really important message for people to not get so caught up in all this hype. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can totally get wrapped up in like this spiritual ego, and there's no room for that when we're talking about our babes. There's no room for that when we're talking about expanding our consciousness. You know, that's a little bit of a trap. We're taking a couple steps back when we get caught up in this spiritual ego of like, ugh. Now, I will say, maybe you do want to do some research on purchasing ethically sourced crystals, right? Because especially with the growing popularity of stones, you just want to be mindful of where they're coming from. Realistically, I mean, not realistically, but honestly, the miners are not always in the best conditions or treated super amazingly. So that is something to consider. At the end of the day, we are buying the crystals, and there is this element of capitalism that we do need to be aware about. So doing your research on that. But just I stress this again, it is about your connection to the stone and the work that you have to do with the crystal or the medicine that the crystal has for you. So don't get caught up on any of the extra like fluff. It's really about the expansion of your consciousness, your self-realization. So, you know, that's what I'll share. The crystals just wanted me to say that because it came through and I was just like, all right, well, I gotta talk about this apparently. So yes, this is a rose quartz, as you can tell, from Brazil. I don't know, I'm feeling it right now. I'm like, feeling it right now. She's beautiful. So trust your intuition. Trust what you're being guided and called towards. Yeah. Don't get like super judgy. Tune into your heart. And remember, think of yourself. Just because you didn't come from this holy, spiritual, pleasant, amazing, butterflies and rainbows of a background, family history, childhood, relationships, doesn't mean that you're any less worthy. If someone connects with you, it doesn't mean that because you don't come from the best background that you're not meant to be in their life, you know? So think of these crystal beings in the same way. They deserve to be welcomed and accepted and treated fairly and treated equally. Okay, well, that's my message for today. Thanks for tuning in. Comment in the comments below. Let me know if this resonates with you, or if this is something that you have also been like thinking about. If you are interested in working with me one-on-one, the link is in the description box. I do virtual and in-person sessions. I specialize in crystal therapy, starlight frequency, and ceremonial cacao, all 3 amazing modalities and pretty unique in the way that they express themselves in your life. I mean, it's expressed through me, but really it's like through you. So if you are ready to really just get through some blocks, understand what's being suppressed, realize what's being suppressed, and create the best version of yourself, hit me up. Okay, I love you guys. See you next time. Ciao.